What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the 2025 Audi Q7 Prestige. This one's finished in Waitomo Blue. MSRP is $88,700. We got the black optics package, all-wheel steering, as well as the Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system. So let's get right into this luxury family car. So this is gonna utilize the 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder motor. It also features a mild hybrid system, has an 8-speed automatic transmission, and Quattro all-wheel drive. Overall, this makes 335 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 can even happen in 5.5 seconds, and curb weight is around 5,000 pounds. It does run on a 22.5 gallon fuel tank. You can expect 18 miles per gallon in the city with 23 out on the highway, and then max towing capacity is 7,700 pounds. The overall length is 199.3 inches with a wheelbase at 117.9. Width is 77.6 and height is 68.5 inches. Taking a look at the exterior styling with Audi's 2025 Q7, this dark blue definitely looks really nice in the sun, and I like all the black accents. For the headlights, of course, you're gonna get LEDs up in front with a really nice daytime running light design. You can see the beams as well. Got the massive upper grille finished off in gloss black. There's also gloss black trim pieces all throughout it with your Audi badge right in the center in that nice gray color. You can see the active grille shutters behind that, safety sensors, parking sensors as well. And then you can see a large opening in the side to provide cooling to the intercooler, really nice fins in it. And then you can see a pretty sporty lower front splitter. It's a great looking family SUV. I think it has really good Audi style to it, aggressive yet very elegant at the same time. For the hood, you're gonna get some sharp body lines cutting towards the windshield just to add to that nice classy style. And then wrapping around to the side profile, this has a set of 21-inch wheels, finished in a nice dual tone color with a split spoke, large calipers up front as well, and then all body colors surrounding this front fender. You can see body color throughout the side and a black trim piece saying Quattro in the back. You're gonna get body color door handles and mirror caps, and you can get a really good idea of the pearl color. You got integrated turn signals and cameras on the side view mirrors, and then some nice black trim all throughout these side windows. And then up above, you're gonna get that full panoramic sunroof with a shark fin antenna in back, and then a gray set of roof rails that you can add roof racks to. For the side profile, this has a pretty good proportion for being a 3-road. Overall, it does look very nice. It's not too big, really good layout overall with a sharp and clean style. Sharp body line for the entire side profile, cutting into the taillight, and then you can see some black trim throughout this rear. Got the integrated spoiler up on top with your third brake light, and then just some sharp body lines cutting down towards the bumper. There's more parking sensors all integrated, a nice design for the exhaust tips with just a little bit of plastic trim back here for the trailer hitch area. You have all those connections as well. Reflectors, all of your lighting, and then the nice design for the taillights with a black trim piece cutting through. Got your Audi logo as well with the color, and then just a clean, nice rear end as expected for a modern Audi. Taking a look at the key fob, you're gonna get lock, unlock, liftgate release, and your Audi badge. Just some nice silver and black all throughout it. Going ahead and locking the vehicle, you can just keep the key fob in your pocket and grab the door handle. It'll automatically unlock. This does have air suspension, so you might hear that sometimes kick on. And then this is gonna get a nice beige leather interior. For the door panel, finished off primarily in the black color, you have some soft touch plastic up above, and then more of this vinyl material throughout the center. And then I like this open pore wood grain texture. You have your release handle, lock, unlock, memory seating, then the grab handle down below with a padded armrest finished in the beige, contrast stitching, all of your controls as well, and then the button for the rear and part of that Bang & Olufsen audio. For the seats, they're gonna of course be power operated. We have the massage button, all of our lumbar support as well, several different settings for this, and then the nice stitching with the perforations throughout it. Very smooth and simple seats, of course being a more luxury focused trim versus any sport line. Then we have a nice black leather steering wheel with silver trim and contrast stitching. And then now inside the 2025 Audi Q7 Prestige, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You can see those tweeters turn on. Full LCD display, 12.3-inch screen, and then of course the 2 center screens are also gonna roar to life. For the steering wheel, we got the Audi logo on it. On the left side, we have some controls for the upper screen, of course. You can go through all sorts of different things. On the right side, you're gonna get a smart button right here that you can configure many different things, and then you have a volume and some Bluetooth controls. There are steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Stock on the right side is gonna be for all the windshield wiper controls, and then the left stock is for turn signals, and then we also have our cruise control down below with the lane keeping right here. So if we take a look at the center infotainment screen, you can see we have the tach as well as your speedometer, gear indication, drive mode, and you can get a larger screen as well. Scrolling left and right, this is a really cool view to where you're going to be able to see cars in the lanes ahead of you as well as your blind spot. We have audio information that will come up, phone integration, and then of course Audi's virtual cockpit that you can adjust, which is a really cool touch. And then over on the left side, we're going to see some of this piano black and that wood trim. We also have more headlight controls over here, one of your air vents, and then some nice stitching across this upper dash. You have our heads-up display, nice smooth materials running across the entire dashboard. And then I like how the air vents are all connected through one large strip. Has a very clean look. More of this piano black for the entire face of the dashboard with the Quattro badge. More of this open pore wood trim. And then the multimedia screen right in the center, as you'd expect from any Audi. You have the nice touchscreen display, and you can just press it a little bit firmer, and everything will come up very nicely. We have all sorts of different tiles you're able to adjust. We can go under vehicle. You're going to see a few things right here for the vehicle itself. Swiping over, back to the home screen, we can continue over for a few more settings. So overall, pretty simple. We have audio controls. Of course, there will be Apple CarPlay, things like that. Phone integration, navigation as well. And then if I go ahead and put this into reverse, you're gonna get your backup camera, a top-down view, a few extra controls, and then if we tap the 3D icon, you're gonna get a really nice 3D view. So really easy to scroll around, see what's going on in the vehicle, and then if we toggle this, you're gonna get a few more controls. So we can just do some shortcuts and it will go to several different presets. Exiting out of the 3D, we also have several different views that you can continuously go through along with a top-down over on the one side. So definitely a really good camera system, no shortage of anything. Pressing the P button, we're back into park. And then underneath that screen, we have our climate control screen. Now, this is actually very simple to use. And once again, if you just touch the screen, it lights up a little bit, but nothing happens until you actually firmly press it. So really nice the way that is set up. And then if you hold it a little bit and slide, you can do this a little bit quicker. You can see your fan speed in the center, more controls down below for heated and ventilated seating. If you tap this 3 icon right here, it will come up on the screen up above with our heated steering wheel as well as all the rear controls. And then from here, you can click the seat and it will come up on this seat with extra adjustments. You can adjust your bolsters for the bottom, make them tighter on you, same with your back bolsters. We have this one right here for your leg rest that you're able to make forwards and back. And we can swipe this for all the massage settings as well. Then you can have your balance for the heat temperature. So pretty good integration actually with the screens as well as all the different options. We have our garage door buttons up above. If you toggle this icon, you can program that. And then of course you have engine start stop, you have your downhill assist, parking control, screen on off. And then underneath all of that, we're gonna get our drive select. When you toggle this, it will come up on the screen with your different drive modes. We have off-road, all-road, and then all the different street modes as well with an individual mode. Traction control, the defrost, volume, safety sensor right here will come up where you can make all those adjustments, and then you can see the parking sensor one as well. You get a little bit more of this piano black with the wood trim down below, nice shifter, storage on the right side of our cup holders, key, as well as your 12 volt, and then just some more silver trim with an electronic park and brake. You have your nice armrest right here that can rotate up and down, and then there's also storage, wireless phone charging, and then more storage. For the glove box on the far right side, opening that up, you have a huge bucket in here as well. So good use for all of the things you're gonna need. And then one last look at the interior. Audi's very nice and up to date. I think they have a very conservative style, but it is very nice at the same time. Massive panoramic sunroof, all of those controls up here with your dome light, and then a nice thin basic mirror, and just a really good place to be. Taking a look at the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the same soft touch material. You got the nice beige color, a little bit of storage right here with our window control, more of that open pore wood trim, and a manual set of sunshades. We have a 3-seat bench row with some smooth leather, perforated leather as well. Very nice and comfortable design. And then the middle seat, you can pull this lever and you're gonna get a nice armrest along with some cup holders that will pop upwards. For the center, you're gonna get all of your air vents, and then I really like this touchscreen display. We have our temperature control that you can easily toggle, fan speed as well, and then there's gonna be heated seats with all the different zones and controls. So super nice, luxurious touch. Got some plugs down below and then storage behind both of the front seats. So hopping into the second row with the Audi Q7, this is a pretty roomy family SUV. So I'm 5'11" sitting here, several inches above my head, even with the panoramic roof, and with the driver's seat at my height I have a really good amount of legroom and knee room. I have the seat reclined nicely. It can recline even farther back. And honestly, it's a pretty roomy car. You have all the amenities you're gonna need. Really can't complain. With the bench seating, this one you can also recline. All 3 seats are individual, so it just depends on how you wanna go. However, you can also pull this strap way down here and get this seat all the way flat and give you some extra room into the back. Onto the 3rd row seating, what you're gonna do is grab the recline lever, let the seat go all the way down, lock it into place, and then you're gonna just push and pull this lever, and you will lift this up. It's got a gas strut to assist it, and then that is out of the way, giving you a nice walkway into the 3rd row where you are gonna see some power controls. So these different buttons, you can press and hold and bring these seats all the way down. So hopping into the 3rd row now with the Audi Q7, this is definitely on the cramped side. With these seats in more of an upright position, you can see how my knees are very tall, the seat is very low, and everything is pretty much up against here. My head just barely touches the ceiling, and this is as reclined as I can get these seats. So this is a 3-row vehicle that in a pinch you have it. It's not exactly designed to be a full-on 3-row. However, from back here, you are able to grab like the recline lever and get these seats out of the way. There are also manual straps you can pull and get them more out of the way. So it's not bad, just certainly not the most 3-row capable, but if you need it in a pinch, you at least have it. Taking a look at the cargo space, there's gonna be an electronic button underneath the Audi logo. Pressing that, we have the power lift gate. With the 3rd row up, you actually have a pretty decent sized cargo space, which is nice to see. There's a cargo net over on the far left side, and we have our air suspension you can lower and raise. Then we have the buttons to control these 2 seats. On the right side, just a little bit of a cutout. And then in the center, we can lift this up. You're gonna get part of the audio system and then just a little bit of storage. Now from here, if I go ahead and press these buttons, you just hold them down, headrest will flip down as well, and you can see them getting nice and flat. And with the 2nd row in its normal position, you're gonna get a really large cargo space back here. And with everything folded nicely, you can see just how much more cargo space you're gonna get in the back of an Audi Q7. The power liftgate button is gonna be located right up here. Just pressing that, we can lower the liftgate. And then coming in through this side, you can see how everything is nice and flat. And if you do have a long arm, you could reach these from standing behind the vehicle to manually get these down. One thing I do like though, you can actually operate these one-handed by just pulling this once. It at least pops upwards to then at least give you some room to then pull the seats back in the up position. So setting off now in the Audi Q7. So this is a pretty nice car to drive. So in the dynamic mode and manual, of course, it's got a decent amount of power. It's certainly not an SQ7, which has a lot more power, but this has plenty of get up and go to get moving on the highway, merging with traffic, things like that. Going back into the auto mode, or let's just go to comfort, automatic. This is a really comfortable place to be. Now with the air ride suspension, it drives really smooth. We have the double pane glass, very well insulated from the outside elements. It's a pleasant car to pilot. Steering is really nice and effortless. We have a great view around with all the windows. I really like just how up high you are without feeling like you're in a jumbo vehicle. This is a good size vehicle. Obviously the 3rd row is a little compromised, but it's kind of that blend of, it's not the biggest SUV either. So really good sizing, easy to see all around and everything. The tech works great. I'm not the biggest fan of the most tech savvy, fanciest cars, but I've been a big fan of Audi. We own an RS3. I like how simple it is, even though you do have a lot of the technology. The cruise control works fantastic. Lane keeping works really well. You have all sorts of different distance pacings. You have 5 settings, which is actually pretty neat. I love this screen right here, especially because when you're on the highway, you'll see all the lanes, all the traffic. It'll have red arrows going if someone's in your blind spot. So the cruise control just makes this effortless. And like I mentioned with this whole touchscreen screen right here for the climate, there's other cars that have a touchscreen climate screen, which I don't like because you're stuck kind of trying to wobble your hand and you're hitting wrong buttons with the bumps in the road, holding your whole arm up. This, I have a perfect rest for my arm and I can just easily toggle things. I don't have to take my eyes off the road. It is so easy and integrated perfectly. Audi nailed it on the head with how they've tackled this. It looks great, it looks fancy, but it's also really easy. There are some synthetics in this trim level that, I wouldn't mind having a little bit more leathers or something, but the build quality is still really good. I mean, tackling that train track, some cars feel like they're breaking in half when you hit that, but this tackles it like a breeze. This feels like a really solid SUV, and just the quality, everything about it, it feels like a great place to be. So for a family vehicle, honestly, while 88 grand is still a lot of money, this is a very nicely appointed vehicle, a high-end product as well. And there's other vehicles out there that cost more money than this that I don't think are as nice. So I've been a fan of Audis for a long time, and the Q7 is delivering very nicely. All right, so my honest thoughts now with the Q7. Once again, hitting the little bit of gravel here, obviously nothing too crazy. But it's been cool to have the Q7 for the week and test it out, see what this family Audi has to offer. We've had our RS3 for over a year now, and we really like it. My wife and I are big fans of Audi. She's had 3 Audis, and honestly for her, Audi is the only car she's gonna probably own. When we look for an SUV sometime, we're probably gonna be considering Q7, Q8, Q5, something along those lines. And it's been cool to see what Audi has to offer in this. Now, this isn't a performance vehicle. It's not an S or an RS model of any sorts. So this is more of your typical nice luxury version of a Q7. I've been enjoying driving it, especially on the highway. I think the cruise control works fantastic. I like how nothing is intrusive. I really only like the lane keeping stuff to work on cruise control. I don't really need it to bug me around town, or if I'm just driving slowly, I find it to be a little annoying. So with this, I can have it basically turn on when I'm using cruise control on the highway, stays in the lane well, it lets me know what's going on all around me, and it doesn't bug me when I'm not doing that. Getting up and going, it's peppy enough. Now, it's not fast, it's not really, impressively quick, but it moves, it does what it needs to do, and you're not gonna have any issues like safety concerns getting up to speed on the highway or merging with the traffic. So I feel like it's confidently powered. You can get a more basic one, I believe the 45 TFSI, and that'll be a 4-cylinder. Not my cup of tea, I would prefer a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder if I were getting a 5,000-pound SUV, but Audi offers that. They offer something for everybody, different price points for these, and you really do get a lot. I think the biggest downfall with the Q7 is the fact that it's not a true third row. Now, you can, for the same price, get a BMW X7 with the 6-cylinder, and the third row is very useful. The second row is very nice. It's a better 3-row. So the Q7 is kind of just a blend of, it's a nice normal 2-row SUV with seats in the back if you just need someone in a pinch. So it would be maybe nice to see Audi come out with a full-size 3-row SUV with a usable third row that's way more comfortable, but these are pretty popular. You see Q7s a lot, and I can see why. It's not a jumbo vehicle. My wife, she doesn't want to own one of the jumbo 3-row vehicles. They're too big. She doesn't like them whatsoever. So something like this, if we ever did need a third row, this is something we would probably end up buying because it doesn't feel intimidating to drive. It's not annoyingly large, hard to park, hard to see the lines. We've had other 3-row vehicles for the week, and not exactly our favorite things to drive. They're just so big. So this is a good blend to where it feels like a normal crossover style SUV. You still feel up high, you can see around and just drive like a comfortable car, but in a pinch, you can fit that extra person if you need to. The only other complaint I would say is just using all the seats in the back are a little cumbersome. I like how the third row has the electronic buttons, but the second row, I like them being manual, and I've complained about other cars that are all power controlled, but then now I guess I'm complaining that they're all manual controls to where there at least needs to be a release lever or something from the cargo space to get those second seats down. So that's probably my biggest complaint. I don't mind the manual controls whatsoever, but you need to have access from the cargo space to get them down. It just makes it a little bit easier. So this is probably the 3-row vehicle that you're never really using the third row. They're probably gonna be flat all the time, and the second row is probably gonna be up all the time. Other than that though, it's been a joy to drive. It's been super comfortable, just a refined, a really nice car. So if you are looking for kind of that sweet spot of a 3-row without being jumbo, if you need those few extra seats in a pinch, the Q7 is probably one of the best options out there, and I've been enjoying it. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys in the next video.